On Geek Blur, the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blur forever, we love it so much. Geek Blur, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blur, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Geek Blur, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us in every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much. Recording live from the Batcave.
Nice. Yeah, I'm recording from the upside down. So,
I can see
welcome
that.
everybody to a new year.
Eh.
Brand new show for the new year. Going to break down some of the stuff happening this year. Some movies and TV shows we're looking forward to. Video games, a few other things. Did you remember it's a show and tell?
Of course.
I know you're
That's
not
why I was a
home.
few minutes
Okay.
late, because I was just gathering my
Okay.
things. One was out in my car still. So,
Okay, so let's start the year off, the week off, the month off with a show and tell. So many geeky things that we could pull off from the shelf. We've been collecting shit for years and now we're whipping it out. So it's time to showcase all the money that we wasted well. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It's Geek Blur Show and Tell. I'll go first.
okay.
I didn't buy a lot this year. I did buy a pop figure. It's something we've talked about on the show, I believe.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
Pennywise from the 1990s It mini series pop figure with
Nice.
balloons and everything. Really cool. Yeah, really cool. Nice nice shelf worthy pop.
Nice. I got a couple Batman related items for Christmas.
Nice.
First up is this Dark Knight collection,
yeah.
which I have the comic book. I have it about 3 different sets, I want to say, because I have random Batman sets and it comes in like all of them. But this one is probably my favorite because it's broken down into sections of the book.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not the full, it's the full collection, but you don't have to sit there with a 40-pound book on your lap. And just pull off different sections, and plus they like line up to make a little guy on the side there.
Oh, that's cool.
And I got one more thing for you. And the poster I showed you.
Oh yeah, that is really cool. Yeah, tell the story about the poster. It's
So,
really cool.
Can't really
It
see
shows
because
up.
of the background. Usually it's okay, but yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah.
So I guess this artist my cousin found on TikTok does takes real paintings and paints over them. So they turned all the bar patrons into Batman's rogues, which is really cool. They also do one with the Always Sunny cast and whatnot. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen
really
I've seen
enjoyed
a few
that
different
gift.
ones.
Yep.
I've seen South Park Kids. I've seen a lot of Star
Yeah,
Wars
I've seen the South
ones.
Park one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really looks really cool. It'll be good on your wall.
Yep.
So let's jump into a show. brand new show of the year. Talk about a finale. You saw a finale. A show that you got me into, I think in the first episode you started talking about it, and that would be Pluribus. Season 1 finale happened while we were away.
Yep. Didn't know which finale you were going to go with there, because we got another one on the horizon.
We're gonna save that for the end.
Okay.
Well, the end of the TV talk. But Pluribus is a great sci-fi show. Very, very slow to get into, but it's done by Vince Gilligan, who did Breaking Bad. And stars Rhea Seehorn.
Ray
as I
Seahorn,
learned how to pronounce. It's
literally pronounced the same as your name. Yes,
it is. Yep. But it's a great sci-fi concept. I don't think I've seen too many places. Spoiler for about 30 seconds. It's a hive mind, and you don't really see too many sci-fi aspects like that. But yeah, it's really good. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's a great reveal in the first episode. You don't even know what's happening, and all of a sudden, it's just a great reveal.
It's also it's tough to discuss this show too, because
it's only first.
A lot does happen. It's the first season. It was a fantastic show. I loved it.
Yeah.
You didn't need this giant ass monologue with every character in the show to reveal that she's a lesbian. They did that very subtly. But yeah, overall, very good show.
You didn't need a whole episode, you mean? Is that what you're talking about to come out?
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ray Seahorn's awesome. I actually just told you I just got Better Call Saul for like $30. Actually, about that, and Breaking Bad was like $10 for like all the episodes, but if you paid like $30, you got all the bonus features that came with the Blu-rays. So it just saves me from like, if I want to watch any episode with commentary, I can just watch it without having to dig out the Blu-ray, which is cool. So I paid
that's cool.
$60 for the entire fucking series of the show. Outside of,
cool.
I don't think either one came with the Jesse Pinkman movie, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, that's all over. Who knows when we'll get a second season? But they are in the middle of the writers' room for that.
Yeah.
The very last scene of this show, because she's been in this hive mind. The very last scene of this show is the funniest, most terrifying thing I think I've ever seen in the show. Very subtly, it's funny. Very subtly terrifying. That she gets her one wish. I think she brought it up in like maybe the third episode.
Yeah.
She kept asking for them for something, and she got it at the end. I don't want to talk about it too much, but great episode, great show. And can't wait for it to come back. Apple TV, right on the top of their game for TV shows and sci-fi in general. I mean, they're just great on.
It's quality over quantity with them.
Yep. Fallout episode 2 and 3. Not going to talk too much about it, but it's good. It's very good. Continuing what happened and what we loved about season 1. Same thing as season 2. I love Walter Goggins as the Ghoul.
Me too.
I love the main cast. Macaulay Culkin showed up in today's this week's episode. It's just a really good show. Definitely worth watching. But what we came here this week to talk about is Stranger Things, the finale of part 5. Overall, this season sucked. It was terrible.
Yeah, did I explain to you my theory as to why I think the season just didn't hit for me? I can't remember if I brought it up, but
I have a theory, and I'm wondering if it's the same as what I'm thinking.
Okay, cool. Let me hear your theory.
No, well, my theory is what we loved about this show in the first 4 seasons. These kids, number one, the show was about the kids. The last season was not about the kids that we grew up to love in the 4 seasons. It was about a whole other set of people. It was about Holly and Vecna and Henry. We didn't see the kids until the last 20 minutes of the finale to really see the effect of what was happening to the kids overall, the 5 season story arc. That was a big issue for me this last season, where I did not feel the D&D. I did not feel the kid camaraderie. I didn't feel the the 80s nostalgia that we felt when we were growing up. I didn't feel that like I felt in every season prior. Until the last 20 minutes, which I did get emotional on.
The epilogue was the best part of this entire season.
Yes.
I think one of the reasons why I had a way less good time, well, besides the fact that this season happened 3 years after it should have to begin with,
and the kids are in their 40s.
Yeah, it came on the heels of us finishing Welcome to Derry, which
Yes. Oh my
to
god.
me brought back the feeling of the very first season of Stranger Things, which by and large
Yeah.
is probably my favorite. I think the action aspects of the fourth might put it over the top, but the first one, as far as nostalgia, D&D, all that stuff, knocked out of the park. And Welcome to Derry was so awesome, and the kids remained kids, of course, because they were smart and they're not going to keep the same cast of kids around for the next 6 years or whatever it's
Yeah.
going to take for them to do that show. But yeah, all the kids are like grown up. It seems like they all had such big contracts too that they kind of they all had like the same amount of screen time, but then so did these other new characters we just don't care about. So it's like it just became muddled where like all the characters got like a certain amount of screen time all around the same, but half of that was spread, like you said, with the new characters that we just don't care about.
Yeah, they
And
just
also
throw
it
it in our
seemed like
lap.
yeah, and also not for nothing, I don't want to say that they phoned it in performance wise, but it seemed like none
Oh,
of
yeah.
the actors wanted to be there. Outside of Sadie Sink, who's fantastic as always.
Yeah. She's classically like Broadway musical
Yeah,
trained. So yeah.
exactly. And Steve was still Steve. I like Steve. Steve's a good
Yeah.
dude.
But again, there
but
were
like-
small glimpses of what we remember from the seasons
Yes.
prior. Like we didn't get the
Yep.
full force of what those kids were growing
Right.
up in the 4
Yep.
seasons.
Yep.
But yeah. I forgot. I was going to mention the It thing. Like, if It did not come out 2 weeks, the finale did not come out 2 weeks
Yeah.
before this, I think we would have had a better watch.
yeah. Also,
But
the
that
CGI
show did
the
what
CGI
this show
was-
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The CGI on this show is also absolutely dog shit. Fucking bomb
this
water.
season, for sure.
And the people, all they did was shit on how it looked. And I'm like, it looked fucking fantastic compared to what we saw in the last episode of this show.
Right. 2 things we got to talk about before we go further.
Yes.
What did you think about seeing the giant spider at the end being the main villain of this?
I chuckled.
Yeah, me too. The other thing is the music. There were some great music moments. The
There
last
was.
half hour of this was very good.
Yes.
They brought in Prince. Prince, I think I saw today the streaming numbers for Prince went up. They doubled this just
Yep.
because of being on the show.
Mhm.
When Doves Cry, leading into Purple Rain,
Yes,
leading
that was
into
cool.
Landslide by Fleetwood
Mhm.
Mac. It was just a great soundtrack at the end. And I think they did an Iron Maiden song too.
Yeah.
The whole entire scene with Dustin at the graduation is exactly what Eddie said he was going to do if he had graduated. He said
Right.
he was going to go up to the podium, flip off the principal, and take the diploma and just run. And that's basically what Dustin did. It was a great,
Yep.
and then he ripped his shirt off and he had the Hellfire Club shirt on. It
Yep.
was awesome.
Yep. that was
I
cool.
love that the last half hour, like you said, was the best part of the whole entire season.
Mhm.
The rest of the season was so weak, and it wasn't the Stranger Things that we grew
And,
to love from this series.
The funny thing too is, of course, I was group watching this with the Discord kids, and they're all much younger or whatever, and they're all like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everyone gets haircuts because it goes from like end of '87 to like '89 or whatever they graduate, whatever that
18
is.
months. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they're all like, because they all had the haircuts that like you would think of like '80s people having,
Mhm.
but like towards the end of the '80s, all that stuff started fading out. So like they had haircuts that were like similar to what you would have had in the late '80s, except for oh my god, the kid that literally had like the same haircut at the end, Mike, the African American kid. Is that his name?
No,
God, I
that's
can't- I can't think of his name. It's not Mike.
I can't either. No.
I can never think of that kid's name. But he's awesome. But like he had like the kid and play haircut, and that was still
Yeah.
popular till like the early like '90s. So they just
it
kept
was.
the haircut essentially on him. I thought that was funny. And also, when what's her name's like, yeah, I'm not really into school, so I'm just gonna get a job. And back in the '80s, it must have been nice to be able to just not go to school and be able to get a job and afford a house.
Yeah.
And like,
Right. Yeah.
like my parents bought a minivan in 1994 that cost the same as the first house they bought in the 80s. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
insane. Like how crazy that must have been. But yeah, overall, very solid show for most of it. Last
For
season
most
had
of it,
its
yeah.
moments. Most of those moments came in the epilogue, so to speak.
Yeah.
The spinoff will probably be 2 years out, and eventually
we'll
everyone's
talk
going to
about
come
it.
back. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Number 1, 11. Spoiler if you haven't watched this, I mean, for the next 30 seconds. 11 dies. Sort
Mhm.
of. A lot of people are shitting on that reveal, because it kind of left it like it's up to the viewer if it really happened or not. You have to have hope, or you have to really believe that she may have survived, just because of because of everything that happened. I don't want to get into all the specifics, but sometimes you could say it's somewhat of a cop out, maybe, but it also ended like a D&D. The way that Mike was telling the story, it ended like if you play D&D, which you have, and I played for over 15 years.
Do you still do it?
Oh yeah, I still do. Actually,
Okay,
I play
cool.
2 games. I play
Nice.
2 games now. But the way he told that story at the end, whether if she really did survive and she escaped, that is just like a D&D. The way he told it was just like a D&D dungeon master. The way they would tell a story, same exact way. It just felt like when you were sitting there and a campaign ends, the same exact thing. You load up your bag, you roll up your bag with your dice, you put everything in your backpack, or in their case, you put it on a shelf, and it's there for your next game or for somebody else. And then the new kids come down in the basement and start playing it because they just see their adult siblings do it. So it was a good ending. The last 30 minutes. I do want to say that. No ratings for the finale yet. It was just a couple days ago, but the first half that dropped on Christmas Day hit 34.5 million views after it dropped. Best Christmas Day ever for Netflix. The finale in theaters, though, did come out today. It aired, I believe, on Wednesday night. Made $25 to $28 million in movie theaters. So that just goes to show Netflix. If you give a movie a chance that you produce and bring it into theaters and actually promote it, it may actually make some money for you. And that's just on one night showing. $25 million is great for one night showing. I'm not sure how it would have done a whole weekend, but
I mean,
that's great.
That's
great
that's
numbers.
preview night. That's great preview night for a real movie. Like
The other
if you
thing,
make that much in a preview night for a real movie, that's great.
The other thing you're going to take into effect, that was New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are doing other shit on New Year's Eve, and they actually went to the movies. So that's phenomenal number.
And it was like most of the showings were like 7:00 at night, like one showing.
Yep.
So it was right in the middle of you, like they did it so you'd be able to get out and see the ball drop and everything. But like if you were going out and had plans, like you wouldn't have been intoxicated enough by the time the ball dropped. But people chose to go to the movies, which is really fucking insane. I feel like a lot of families went, a lot of families went.
Yeah, I think so too.
Without where kids couldn't drink or whatnot. I know a lot of people that were going with like sisters and brothers and stuff like that that I talked to. So,
like you mentioned, spin-offs are happening. The first one we're going to get is called Stranger Things Tales from 85. It's going to be an animated series set between season 2 and 3. And the main characters of the show are coming back in animated form, telling a story of some sort. I don't even know if it's really related to the Upside Down, maybe from Will's perspective, but that's what we're definitely getting. That's coming out. Is the Duffer Brothers.
Are the voices being done by the actors? Do you know? Have they announced that?
I don't know who's doing all the voices. I believe a lot of them are coming back. This has been done for a while, so I'm sure a lot of them are coming back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they're also talking about a spin-off live action series. And that's the big one everybody's been talking about. Set a few years later, or maybe a prequel, but the Duffer Brothers have been talking about it the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. Does not involve the Upside Down. Has a completely different story, location, characters, and actors. It's set in a different decade. And they also said that they are heavily involved, but they won't be directing it. They won't be showrunners, the Duffer Brothers. And a scene in the series, they teased this, I think, on Wednesday, but it came out yesterday. A scene in the series finale was actually going to be what it was all about. And what that scene was the rock scene of young Henry when it absorbs into it comes from the briefcase and absorbs into his body. They said that season that we're going to be getting is about that rock and where it came from. And I was wondering that throughout the whole entire finale because it was a big question of everything. Like this is the end. Like, where did that rock come from, and why did Henry get the powers absorbed to him? And that's where the Upside Down started, so on and so forth. So we're getting something set decades prior to find out how they got to the Upside Down and how they figured out the Upside Down and how they got this rock and whatever the hell this rock is that opened up Henry's visions and everything else. but that's going to be the big MacGuffin of that series. So yeah, great series overall. Shitty season, but overall at the end, I think it all kind of turned around the last half hour. And it was definitely worth watching. Great. The beginning of this show was fantastic. It made D&D very popular in America about 9 years ago. So yeah, it was just great. Let's talk about some other stuff we watched while we were away. Finally, we got the Raven documentary, Nevermore. Fantastic documentary.
Jesus Christ,
It's
it was so
on-
good.
Very,
it's on
very
everything
good.
now. It's on everything
It's
now.
on everything. Everything now.
Told you that shit was going to happen as soon as we got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as Ray bought it on Amazon Prime, it he got put onto every other service that we would have bought it on before getting it on Prime.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, this was a great documentary. I
He
grew up
brought
a huge
everybody-
Raven fan.
Yeah.
It brought
He brought
everyone back.
everybody. Yeah. Everybody in to do interviews, which was amazing.
Yep.
Talk about it a little bit. Dusty Rhodes gave him his break, brought him into WCW in the beginning. What was his? I can't remember his name in the WCW.
Scotty Flamingo. Or was
Scotty
that?
Flamingo.
Was he?
Yep,
Yeah,
Scotty-
was he Flamingo? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because he was Johnny Polo in WWF.
Johnny Polo was
years
WWF.
later.
Yep.
Yep.
Scotty Flamingo. Yeah.
And I did not know he was working in the office at that time. Right underneath, like there was pictures of him and Vince McMahon partying and having fun and working behind the scenes. He was a writer on WWF programming in the early.
See, the
90s.
thing about this documentary to me is I've seen every shoot interview Raven does. He is he's not only a fantastic storyteller in the ring, he's just a fantastic storyteller. And he talks about like hanging out with Shane McMahon, and he goes into much more detail in the shoot interviews. But it's true, like people thought he was sucking up to the boss, but he's like, I'm out getting the boss's son drunk every night. Keep him up till like 6 a.m. and like that's bad for me, guys. You don't understand that. Like, and he loved wrestling so much that he gave up a 6-figure job with benefits that allowed him to also wrestle just because he wanted to focus on his character work and wrestle and go to ECW, essentially, is what happened. Like, that's insane to me.
In the early 90s, like 94, 95, he was friends with Diamond Dallas Page. And Diamond Dallas Page gave him the idea to kind of go further into the grunge movement at the time with Nirvana and Soundgarden and the flannel shirts and the shorts and everything. Pretty much his persona. Take that grunge movement and make it into a character, and that's what he did. And he actually became the Raven character, even though the Raven character is a lot like him too, kind of an ignorant asshole. I guess he even calls himself. A lot of people called him an asshole in the documentary. And then he goes into, because of DDP's relationship with Paul Heyman, he gives Paul E a call and says, as he's leaving WCW, Raven. And DDP calls him and asks him to take a look at Raven, and he brings Raven into the ECW right when Heyman was building that franchise, and becomes a superstar in ECW. And that's what a lot of people remember him from now, as far as his feud with Tommy Dreamer and everything else. But Athletic Commission from ECW was Raven's foot doctor. I thought that story was hilarious.
Yep.
Sandman's drug overdose, the story of that, and him rising from the dead and just showing up at the ECW arena randomly when they thought he was dead in the car. That was a funny story.
Yeah.
Talks a lot about ECW's birth and how it was connected to the Attitude Era, which we already knew about. A lot of that stuff was stolen by the writers of WWE at the time, WWF. And a lot of that stuff was created, the soap opera aspect was created on ECW TV, was Raven. Like the whole, was it Medulla McGillicuddy, whatever her name was?
Beulah McGillicuddy.
Beulah, yeah, I couldn't remember her name. Beulah, who was pregnant, and then who the baby was, maybe it was Ravens, but then they found out it was Tommy Dreamer.
It really was Days of Our Lives. Like, it really was Days of Our Lives.
But that's what the Attitude Era
wrestling.
became.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's exactly what the Attitude Era became.
And, like, I was a huge fan of the Raven character because, like, he was, like, this outcasted character. And me and Dusty always loved those outcasted characters.
Dusty loved him. Yeah.
Him and DDP were, like, his two favorites. And yeah, we loved Raven. I still wear my Quote the Raven Nevermore shirt that I got in the fucking WCW show in like '96. Yeah, I love Raven.
Yeah, WCW. Yeah, he went to WCW
also,
after ECW.
His One thing we didn't bring up is the fact that he is Raven and his girlfriend is named Selena Kyle.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a popular ship on the Twitter, which is hilarious. That I'm like, he definitely made her change her name.
Yeah, for sure. But like you mentioned, he was in WCW. That's where I knew him from.
Yep.
I started watching WCW in the late '98. And he started the Ravens Flock, which is a great. They didn't talk about it too much, but it was
great
Billy
idea.
Kidman.
Yep.
Lodi. I think I remember what his
Yep.
name
Lodi.
was.
It was
Perry
Lodi,
Saturn.
Perry Saturn. Kidman. Yep. I feel like there was one or two more. Of course, he also had that, and he had the same exact thing in ECW with like Blue Meanie, Stevie Richards. He basically just took everything he did in ECW and brought it to WCW. Essentially, what he did.
And WCW fumbled the ball with it and put him in the cruiserweight.
It was the weirdest thing too, because like they mentioned on the documentary, like he's on the cover of these like video games, and they were only pushing him as like a mid-card guy, like, but yet he's on the cover of like WCW NWO Revenge.
Because it was popular, very popular.
He was super popular, but they just never. He was never able to get over the hump because of the politics in WCW.
The slip and slide story with Perry Saturn, hilarious. Talked a little bit about his final run in ECW. Came back after WCW folded. Came back to ECW.
Awesome. Yep.
And also ended his career in TNA, and talked a little bit about what he's doing now. He's injuries upon injuries because of what he's put his body through. But every wrestler like him and in that era is going through the same exact thing. I mean, Mick Foley, him, and all of them are all in pain right now because of what they gave us.
Yeah, he was lucky on one end though, because he was like, yes, he was in ECW and he did hardcore stuff, but he wasn't the most like everything he did hardcore was like, it was all psychological. Like the 1 chair shot versus the 10 they wanted him to take. I'm not taking 1 over 10 because I'm pussy, but it just makes more sense for the story. Whereas you have guys like Balls Mahoney who would be like, yeah, let's light 7 tables on fire and I'll jump off the top of the fucking 7-story building on top of them. Like Raven wouldn't do that shit. Like he wouldn't do stuff like that just to like get a, like everything he did made sense. Which is why I always loved and appreciated him. But yeah, that guy he's like 60 now, or he's about to turn 60, and he probably has no knees, no elbows. Like,
moving around like you'd expect a wrestler like his age to be moving.
And if he wasn't such a narcissist, he would be the perfect person to have backstage working with the talent. Oh yeah. They did an entire 5-tape series of shoot interviews where he's just explaining booking on one, and he's explaining heel characters on another and face characters on another. And he's a goddamn genius when it comes to wrestling and psychology. It just sucks that he decided to sue them instead for insurance money. And now he's outcasted forever.
Oh, that sucks, yeah. Yeah, they did show that in the documentary a little bit. He was at I think it was MLW show, and he was trying to tell people what to do when they come out to the ring, and so it looked really cool. Yeah, and it would be great to see him doing that in a company.
Exactly.
Great documentary. It's on Prime now. It's on Amazon. It's on Apple. It's everywhere. You can buy $4.99 to rent it. AEW could use anybody of his caliber. Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about something that we have been talking about for a while. You watched it over a vacation for the very first time.
Fucking amazing movie. Jesus Christ. I can't wait to watch it.
And I've been telling you that for a while, but he watched Shrek
I knew it. I just never felt the need to go back. And now that I'm doing group watches with a bunch of people, like I would have done this with you a few years ago when we were doing group watches, but they made me do it, and I'm glad I did because this movie is fantastic.
Fantastic for what it is. Best DreamWorks movie, in my opinion. Best franchise for sure. John Lithgow as the villain, Farquaad. Yeah. Great casting. There is a 3D, I'm not sure if it's still there at Universal Studios, a 3D Shrek ride where he comes back as a ghost. And it was incredible. Really? And I love the Shrek ride. Shrek 3D, amazing. But overall, great way of bringing the real book of storybooks to life, and making it in a funny way. Did you know the original casting for Shrek was supposed to be Chris Farley?
Chris Farley, and he recorded most of his lines, right?
Yeah, recorded most of it.
You can find it on YouTube.
Yep, you can. And Shrek looked a lot different too. And you look at the Shrek now; it kind of has the same kind of face as Mike Myers, just stretched out into the green face.
I wonder if he would have changed his voice, because all the recordings I've heard, he just sounds like Chris Farley. But that might have been what they wanted. They might have just wanted that for that character at the time.
Yeah,
I think it probably worked out for the best, unfortunately. Though I'm sure, I mean, it's
Eddie
one of those
Murphy.
things where like we never would have like even thought that it'd be somebody besides Chris Farley. But yeah,
right, yeah. Eddie Murphy is Donkey, and where he got like the majority of his money, and he was a millionaire before this came out. He was huge in the 80s and in the early 90s, but when Shrek came out, fuck it, he just went into the atmosphere, with skyrocketed out of there.
Yep.
Money wise, and there's been four movies, the fifth one coming out, but great movie. The other thing, when we left, rest in peace to Rob Reiner. We did mention that we were going to watch some movies, and I did, and watched the Spinal Tap movies, the one and two. I've seen Spinal Tap 1 a long time ago. Watched it again. Those movies, for what they were, you got to put yourself in the early 80s. Mockumentary style, fake music, which was really good considering they're comedians and they all played guitar and all played the music on that album, on those movies. Even the second one was amazing, and the second one brought in some stars. Elton John had a great cameo in this, where he performed Stonehenge, which was good. They were good for if you like that type of thing. Like The Office has kind of got their nod from this as well. A lot of that, even Jack Black, when he does Tenacious D, is kind of a tongue-in-cheek homage to Spinal Tap. So good movies. The other thing we mentioned was his acting roles. Of course, he was Meathead in All in the Family, but he had a great role in Wolf of Wall Street alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. They played his father. There's been a lot of social media clips of that scene, of those scenes playing after he died. And he was incredible in that movie. And I watched it for the second time ever, the first time in like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's an amazing fucking movie. One of Scorsese's best. And he was fantastic in it. And really brought out the father figure who's trying to protect his money as well. It was just really, really good. And another movie that has been on my list forever, and I decided to watch it. I'm pretty sure you've watched it. Was A Few Good Men. Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, 1992, Demi Moore, all of them got accolades from this movie. I believe Jack Nicholson may have gotten an award for it, but great fucking movie. And I thought it was going to be more serious, but there was a lot of comedy in there. Now I understand why, because it was Rob Reiner directing it.
Oh, yeah.
And Tom Cruise, I've always said Tom Cruise needs to do more comedies, and subtle comedies like this would be great for him right now. He's just so stuck in his whatever the hell he does now, Mission Impossibles, with very limited funniness to him.
Well,
he hasn't done a really good serious comedy in a while.
I mean, he's a huge proponent of the theaters, and those movies tend to make more money than a comedy would.
Yeah, they do
for theaters. That's one of his big things now. At least he's not doing that space movie with Elon Musk anymore. But yeah, I grew up on Tom Cruise. Like, if you watch any of his like 80s stuff, it all has a lot of comedy in it. Like Cocktail, for instance, fucking hilarious movie. Rain Man
is one of my favorite movies. The subtle humor in that movie is fantastic.
Exactly.
The other thing I want to bring up, Rob Reiner created Castle Rock Entertainment, which is based off, because he did the best adaptations of Stephen King. He did Misery, and he did Stand By Me, known to be the two most popular, the most famous Stephen King adaptations. And Castle Rock, of course, is a town in the Stephen King universe. So Rob Reiner, having, I believe it was Stand By Me was in Castle Rock, or no, it may have been Misery. I can't remember. One of them was in Castle Rock, but he created his entertainment company after a Stephen King story, being Castle Rock, the location in his books. But did want to mention that. Rest in peace to Rob Reiner. Still, after a few weeks, it's still kind of crazy how that all happened right before Christmas, and haven't heard anything much about it in a week or two. But I know the kid's gone. His son has been charged, and he's been through the process of the judge and everything, and he's been charged and summoned. So he's on mental hold, I believe, too. So it's crazy story. It's a weird ending to the year too, but And I did watch a movie before we get into the preview for the next year. Came out on digital this week. I watched Wicked for Good finally. It's exactly what I said it was going to be. It was not as good as the first one. It wasn't even in my top 10 of the year, probably. Maybe top 10, but definitely not top 5. And I loved the first one so much. It was my number 1 movie last year. There was a lot of connections to The Wizard of Oz in this, which I knew was happening. The very first scene, spoiler, but I don't really care. They're building the yellow brick road, and Elphaba comes in and starts creating a havoc. And it's an okay movie. I think if I gave 4.5 to the first one or 5, I don't even know what I really gave it. Worthy of either number. I probably would give this a 4. It wasn't as good, but it did finish the story. Some good songs, some good music. A lot of musicals in the second act. They take the songs from the first act and they redo them and change the lyrics a little bit. That happened a lot in this. We did see the Cowardly Lion. We saw the Scarecrow, and some of the characters from the first part ended up turning into those characters without giving too many spoilers away. And also there's a lot of stuff, like if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, the witch dies at the end. There's a lot of connections to that in the water, and it's just an overall if you're talking about the 2 movies, it's a great story, and it connects to The Wizard of Oz. I will say I could have gone without some of the connections to The Wizard of Oz itself. It felt forced, some of it, but overall, great set of movies. I like the first one so much more than the second one, but I did watch them back to back this week, and I did enjoy it. So, probably like I said, 4 out of 5. And that brings us to 2026. A lot of stuff happening this year in movies, video games, television. Let's start off with video games. We have a big one coming out at the end of the year, maybe, but let's talk about the ones before that. 007 First Light. This comes out in May. It looks like they're taking James Bond serious for once. They haven't done a serious Bond game since GoldenEye, really, if you really think about it. GoldenEye was so huge in 96 that game, 97 that game came out. Yeah. And they're actually taking a series. They're bringing in actors to actually play the roles. The kid who played Dexter in Dexter Original Sin is coming in to play James Bond. The villain's going to be Lenny Kravitz. So it looks like it'll be good. And a lot of people are hyped up about it. So we'll have to wait and see. 2 days later, May 29th, we're getting Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. This is a Lego movie, a Lego game, where they're taking a lot of aspects of Batman in video games and movies. A lot of it looks like an Arkham game, but it also looks like a lot of the movies, the Batman and Dark Knight trilogy, and even the Michael Keaton stuff earlier on. They're taking a lot of inspiration from that into this game. It looks great. We'll have to wait and see. That's supposed to come out on May 29th. That's the thing about video games. The dates never stay. And we'll talk about that in 2 seconds. But the Halloween game that's been rumored, or not rumored, but it's definitely coming out. It's supposed to come out September 8th, right before Halloween. It's set in that world. You actually play as either the killer or the victims, either or. That comes out September 8th. But November 19th is the game of the year, probably the game of the decade, because these games don't come out that often, is GTA 6.
Yeah.
That's for now. And that's November 19th, and that date has already changed 3 times. I don't know if they'll change it again. There are rumors that it could change again, but they're trying to put everything they have into this game, so it's a 10 out of 10 game. We'll have to wait and see if that actually keeps that date or not. To be determined, some games that are coming out, we're not really sure about. Wolverine, we know it's coming out. Not sure if it's going to be this year or not. That game looks awesome. A reimagined 20-year anniversary of Halo. The first Halo game's coming out, and it's going to be on PlayStation this time. They re-upped the graphics. It looks awesome. Saw the trailer a couple months ago. And there's a Marvel 1943 game coming out. It's been coming out for a while. But there's no exclusive. There's no a date for it yet. And that's Captain America in 1943 during World War II and the rise of Hydra with Wakanda there and the Black Panther at the time. It looks really, really good, but we haven't seen much about it. We haven't even seen any gameplay of it. We just saw a trailer a couple years ago, and there's no official date on that as well. But somewhere it'll be come down the calendar sometime, either this year or next year. But I did want to mention those before we get into the movies. Big year for movies. In January of this month alone, today We Buried the Dead came out. This is the Daisy Ridley movie. On the 9th, Primates. Is this thing on? It's the Bradley Cooper's next movie. Not a lot of people talking about that, but it's a stand-up comedy movie. On the 16th, 28 years later, people have seen that movie and are praising it. The Rip, that's going to be on, I believe, Netflix. And that is the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie where they're in Miami and they play cops.
Yeah, that looks really good.
It does look good. Dead Man's Wife, that's Bill Skarsgård's robbery movie. That comes out the same day. And Night Patrol as well. Justin Long, he plays an LAD department detective. And it's about vampires at night or something. I don't really know. It looked pretty good in the trailer. And the 23rd is an AI movie about called Mercy with Chris Pratt. It looks pretty good as well. On February 13th, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. That's that sci-fi movie that I said looked really good the last episode, the last show. It's sci-fi time travel movie. Keep an eye on that. How to Make a Killing. This is another Glenn Powell starring movie. Comes out on the 20th of February. And the 27th, Scream 7. And I know they're bringing in Nev Campbell again. Because the last one was not good without her. So yeah, we're gonna get a Scream 7 at the end of February. In March, we're getting The Bride! ! That's Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal directed it. Christian Bale's in that as well, plays the monster. Cat in the Hat, the animated movie, coming out same day. On the 20th, the movie that I think is probably going to be a lot of people's high expectations for is Project Hail Mary, because I know that a lot of people love that book. And the same day, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man comes out on the 20th of March. On April 3rd, we're getting the sequel to Super Mario World. We're getting Super Mario Brothers. We're getting Super Mario Galaxy, the movie. Same day, we're getting The Drama. That's a movie starring Zendaya and Rob Pattinson. On the 17th, we're getting a remake of The Mummy, but we haven't seen any posters or trailers for that yet, so I'm not sure if that's
interesting.
Today.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, 3 months out. On the 24th, supposedly, we're finally getting the Michael Jackson biopic. I'm very much looking forward to that movie. I think it was on our list last year to look forward to it last year, but hopefully we're getting it in April. On May, the blockbuster season starting off with Devil Wears Prada 2 on the 1st. On the 8th, we're finally getting Mortal Kombat 2, which was also delayed. And we're getting Sheep Detectives. That's the Hugh Jackman movie we talked about last episode. On the 22nd, we're getting Star Wars back in the theaters with Mandalorian and Grogu. Going into June the 5th, we weren't huge into Masters of the Universe. We've talked about that before in He-Man. It was a little bit before our time, but that is coming up. Just missed us. Yeah, coming out the 5th of June. On the 12th, we're getting Disclosure Day, which we don't really know much about other than it's a Steven Spielberg movie. And it's about the world finding out that aliens exist and something happens. It's disclosed to the world.
We think it's about that. But yeah, and Josh O'Connor, so I'll be there.
Yeah, Josh O'Connor's great. So same day, Scary Movie 6 comes out. So I have to decide which one I want to see. The 19th, Toy Story 5 coming back. Love Toy Story. So we'll have to wait and see on that. In June, huge month in the movies. I'm not going to talk about the big movie yet. We'll talk about it at the end when we talk about the Marvel and DC stuff. But July 10th, Moana, live action. 17th, The Odyssey. And we'll also talk about the 2004 Troy movie because I have not seen that. We're going to watch it around July as well.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. In August, on the 7th, Super Troopers 3. No idea why we're getting that movie. Second one was not good.
Those guys lost their fastball a long time ago. So
Beer Fest, great movie from that. Nobody talks about that movie. Great, funny movie.
Sean from Psych is in that. What is the island movie they did was pretty good.
Club Dread,
maybe.
Is that right?
And first Super Troopers.
Super Troopers is classic. Yeah,
and
that's why they're going back.
Did they do another one? They might have done another one that was really good. But yeah, I like those guys. They're all good.
They're very good. They're very good crews. Work together well.
Yes.
Like the first Super Troopers, and they are bringing back the original cast of that, which was not done in the second one.
I never saw the second one. Coming back. I had no interest.
Don't watch it. Don't. Thread, a new Insidious movie coming out on the 21st of August. On the 28th, finally, Coyote versus Acme. I'm glad we're getting that movie at the end of summer. Also, The Dog Stars comes out that day. Haven't heard about it until I did research today. It's Jacob Elordi and Ridley Scott. It's a sci-fi movie.
Nice.
Not even sure what it's about, but it comes out the end of summer. On the 18th, Practical Magic 2. Resident Evil comes out on the same day. That's Zach Kreger. That's the only reason I put it on the list, because I love Zach Kreger now.
Yep.
And I'm interested to see how that Resident Evil is going to be. On the 2nd, just announced a couple weeks ago, was Digger with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about it. It comes out on the 2nd of October. On the 9th, we're getting the sequel to Social Network and Social Reckoning. On the 20th, we're getting a sequel to the Hunger Games, Hunger Games Sunrises. Oh, sorry, went too far. On the 16th, Street Fighter remake. Trailer looked great. Poster looked awesome. Everything about that. I cannot wait. On the 23rd, Jordan Peele's coming out with an untitled movie, and same with M. Night Shyamalan. Coming out the same day, 2 horror movies in October. We'll have to wait and see if those keep the dates. Yep.
Yeah.
November the 13th, we're getting Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. That's Ty West. That's a Johnny Depp movie. I know you're very excited. You love Ty West, so I'm sure we'll be watching that. On the 20th, we're getting the Hunger Games, Sunrise of the Reaping. On the 25th, opening up on Thanksgiving Day, we're getting Focker-in-Law, Meet the Parents 4.
Why?
I love the first movie. I'm not a huge.
I like the first 2. I don't like the third.
Yeah.
The first, like the second one was obviously a step down, but it was still, it's like the Santa Claus 2, like Santa Claus a classic, Santa Claus 2,
right,
but it's still enjoyable.
Right. And on the 26th, we're getting Narnia, and we're getting Madden, which is the Nick Cage John Madden movie.
That looks awesome.
It looks really good. So
Christian Bale's in it. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah, November is already set up to be a great month of movies. And December, to end the year off, Violent Night 2. We loved Violent Night when it first came out. David Harbour playing Santa Claus. They're doing a sequel. It comes out on December 4th. On the 11th, we're getting Jumanji 4, Jumanji 5, I think, in the canon. I don't really know. On the 18th, we're getting Dune 3. We're getting another movie that day. We'll talk about in a minute. On the 3rd of December, we're getting Shrek 5. So cannot wait for that. And on Christmas Day, we're getting Robert Eggers' new movie, Werewolf. I cannot wait for that as well.
Fucking busy end of the year.
Busy end of the year, busy year in general. And then we haven't even gotten into the Marvel and DC stuff yet. To be determined next year, we're supposed to get the Adventures of Cliff Booth movie, which is, of course, the spinoff directed by
Fincher.
What's his name? Fincher.
David Fincher.
The spinoff of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which we both cannot wait for. Kendrick Lamar, Matt Stone, and Trey Parker are doing a musical together, and we've been talking about it for a while. It's got pushed back quite a bit. Cannot wait to see when that actually comes out.
Just think, whenever Fincher has worked with Brad Pitt, we've gotten 2 top 20 movies of all time.
Yep, 7 and
to bring it up, 7 and Fight Club.
Fight Club, yeah, yep. And TV for the next year. We got a lot of TV to watch next year. A lot of TV, so prepare yourself. Starting this month, we got some big ones. On the 18th of January, Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out. That's on HBO. We've been talking about it for a very long time. Second season of WWE Unreal comes out on the 20th as well. On the 22nd, Freebird on Netflix. I'm going to binge that whole thing that week it comes out. Bert Kreischer. On the 28th, finally, Shrinking Season 3 comes back. And like I mentioned, January alone is not big on the movies.
Every time I go to cancel Apple, Shrinking comes back. Literally every time I'm like, oh, I can be done with Apple now. Then they're like, oh, new season of Shrinking in less than a month. I'm like, well, never mind.
Yeah. On February 4th, we're getting a brand new Muppet Show on Disney Plus. A brand new series. I believe the first guest is Serena Carpenter. On the 23rd, we're getting Paradise Season 2. Love the first season. 3-episode premiere that day on Hulu. And The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. That's the Tracy Morgan, Daniel Radcliffe, who was Harry Potter. That's their NBC starring role, done by the people that did 30 Rock. Gotta check that out when it comes out on Peacock. And the 25th, we're getting a Scrubs revival on ABC. On March 5th, we're getting Ted Season 2. That's going to be on Peacock. We've been waiting for that for a while. It's coming out sometime in March, a show called Rooster, starring Steve Carell, done by Bill Lawrence, who's done Ted Lasso and Shrinking, coming out on HBO. In April, on the 8th, we're getting The Boys on Prime, final season. Cannot wait for that. On the 10th, we're also getting Malcolm in the Middle, Life's Still Unfair. In April, no date yet, but we're getting Euphoria back. Glad I watched it last year, so we can watch that and talk about it at the end of April, whenever it comes out. And that's all the dates we have, but we do have some seasons of when stuff's supposed to come out. In the summer, House of Dragon Season 3 is coming out. Looking forward to that probably more than anything this season, for this year for television, Season 3 of House of Dragon. Also looking forward to sometime the end of the middle of summer, we're getting the Larry David U.S. History sketch show on HBO. Cannot wait for that. It's going to line up right around the 250th anniversary of America on July 4th. So we'll have to wait and see on that. In the fall, we're supposed to get the Crystal Lake series for Peacock. It's already filmed, doing in post-production right now. And Monster, the Lizzie Borden story, coming out on Netflix. I know you love those monster movies, and Charlie Hunnam coming back. To be determined. We don't know any dates for these, but we know they're coming out this year. Nola King, spinoff from Tulsa King, starring Samuel L. Jackson, coming out on Paramount. The studio season 3 already filmed, coming out sometime this year. Love the season 1, so cannot wait for that. Half Man, this is HBO. Richard Gadd, who did Baby Reindeer, has a show on HBO now. Carrie, just added this. This is the last thing I added because I forgot about it. Mike Flanagan's doing this, coming out on Prime sometime this year. And I love Mike Flanagan. I'm interested to see how he tackles a Stephen King adaptation. It'd be awesome.
Well, I mean, he already did. So,
what did he do? What did he do?
Dr. Sleep.
Oh, Dr. Sleep. That's right. Yeah. Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. HBO. That's the Big Bang Theory spinoff. Ted Lasso season 4 coming out sometime this year on Apple. Rings of Power season 3 maybe coming out late. It just started filming, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Finished filming. And if post-production is 12 to 14 months, it could be the end of the year. It could be early 2027 when we see that third season, probably the last season of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Now let's get into the Marvel releases of the year. Marvel has a lot of animated stuff coming out, leading up to with the season 2 of X-Men 97. I was very high on season 1. It was very good week to week. Cannot wait. Comes out sometime in the summer of this year. Same with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. In the fall sometime. Great show, the first season. Cannot wait to see that as well. Wonder Man comes out the end of this month on the 27th. Got a brand new trailer we'll talk about in a minute, but that will be coming out the end of this month. I believe all episodes are dropping the same day. That may or may not be a good sign. We'll have to wait and see. Daredevil Born Again coming out in March sometime, season 2. Cannot wait for that. Vision Quest supposed to come out the end of the year. This is the kind of the triple part of a trilogy with WandaVision, Loki, not Loki, Agatha All Along, and Vision Quest. The end of that trilogy coming out sometime the end of the year. Punisher also supposed to be coming out before Spider-Man. It sets up Spider-Man. So we're guessing if that Spider-Man comes out the end of July, Punisher's probably going to be coming out June, May, maybe. No official date on that, but we'll have to wait and see. That's like a mini movie, like an hour long, a special movie. They're doing special presentation. Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's the first big Marvel movie of the year. That comes out on July 31st. Looking forward to that. And Doomsday. Comes out on the week before Christmas on December 18th. We'll talk all about the teasers and the posters and the trailers and everything in the news, but the hype is real on that. Sony has one thing Spider-Man related coming out this year. Spider-Noir. I did not have that on the list. Thank you for adding it. But yeah, Spider-Noir coming out for Sony. We'll talk about that first, but Clayface coming out in September. Looking forward to that very much. I don't know why I had it on the list, because I had it up top. I took it off, and I thought it was.
By the way, another issue has come about. That movie comes out on September 11th, so apparently that means James Gunn is anti-American. I just wanted to put that out there. But go on.
Yeah, it comes
It's
out
narrative I've
September.
seen.
Yeah, but that's gonna be body horror.
I can't. That's my most anticipated.
Amazing.
My most anticipated probably. It's probably up there with Spider-Man, just because the story is one of my favorite stories from the Batman the
The
Animated
animated
Series,
series.
and
It is.
it's also based on One Bad Day, which is also a fantastic Clayface comic.
Yep. And what they did that they kind of tackled that a little bit in the animated series they did on Amazon Prime last year. I remember what the name of it was, but they tackled it a little bit. It was really good. The big movie this year for DC, besides that, is Supergirl. Sequel to Superman, of course, setting up Man of Tomorrow as well. Adaptation of a Supergirl comic, which there has never been really a full adaptation of a whole entire project done for a movie. Usually
it's bits and
pieces. Yeah. But we're seeing Supergirl that comes out in June. And Lanterns sometime this summer. We're not sure when we're getting it, but Green Lantern finally coming back, rebooted. And taking a more, I would say, grounded route, maybe. Maybe
we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Kyle Chandler and what's his name, Aaron Pierre. Yeah, cannot wait for that. And a few other things we're going to talk about. I mean, I've been working on this for a while, watching Judd Apatow movies and television shows. Sometime this year, I'm going to do a career retrospective. Not sure when. We'll throw it in there somewhere. We got CinemaCon happening in April. We got San Diego Comic-Con happening in July. D23 is coming back after a year hiatus, coming back in August, a couple weeks after San Diego. We're going to have a road to Doctor Doom, a road to the Lanterns, and a road to Supergirl. Not going to be as ambitious as Superman was last year, but we'll talk about it leading up to the movies.
Yes. See, the thing, too, is like we're doing like the comics and stuff like that. The issue with like Supergirl, Lanterns has great comics. Like we're not going to read a lot of Supergirl though, because like there's like one Supergirl run I like, and it's the one this movie's based on.
Right, we've already read it.
So yeah, and Lanterns just has so much stuff that, I mean, we'll probably get into some Lanterns, but we'll see. And Clayface, maybe we'll do like a One Bad Day read or something. I don't know.
We'll definitely watch that arc in the animated series,
sure.
For comics, it's something we've been talking about for a while. Like Miracle Man, I know you read that a while ago, and I said, I want to do that for the podcast. We'll talk about that this year sometime. Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, they both had two stories, life stories, set through decades of telling stories of them growing old. I want to read those. I've had them on my comic list for a while. Superman Birthright. We did not do that last year.
We didn't do Birthright? No shit.
That's one of my favorites.
That's one of my favorites.
We're gonna do that.
All right, cool.
In September, October, we're gonna be doing another Watchmen thing. We're gonna be reading Before Watchmen and the Rorschach series. It's the only thing we did not tackle last year
for the Rorschach. Because it's Tom King, so
we're gonna do that in the fall. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. As far as what I'm looking forward to the most, it's definitely Marvel DC related to me. Top of my list is Doomsday. Probably Supergirl number 2. Doomsday, Supergirl, Lanterns, and Spider-Man. Unfortunately, Spider-Man's low on my totem pole right now.
Let's see. I'd say for me, it's probably Spider-Man and Clayface are like 1 and 1A, but after that, it's Dune 3, of course.
Yeah, that's number 5 for me.
I need to see more from Doomsday because I haven't been impressed with the goddamn thing I've seen so far. So
you haven't been impressed we'll talk about that in news, but you haven't been impressed with what you've seen or how you've seen it, because that's what pisses me off is how we're seeing it on old phones.
Nothing about this movie from the get-go has excited me one bit. Not a single thing.
Interesting.
So we'll see if they can pull it off. Yeah.
We'll talk about it in news.
I'm not judging it until I actually see the movie. I'm not going to be one of those assholes. But just nothing like about like the fact they're bringing in 150 fucking people. Like that just doesn't like. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 10 times more than Doomsday at this point. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But that's 2020. That's 2026 for you. Mm-hmm. There's a lot there. And we'll talk all about it on the podcast. And I'm sure there's stuff that we have not talked about. There always is that comes up, and haven't mentioned any documentaries. And I always mention at the beginning of every year is we had such a great year of documentaries last year. How are they going to top that? Famous last words, because they always do. And
Yep.
we'll talk about that going into the new year, going into the year. But until then, let's jump into the news. And it's not a news segment without the trailer on it. We got some trailers while we were away. Number one, we got the Odyssey actual trailer, not the epilogue or whatever.
Right.
The prologue.
We didn't get the 8 minutes in IMAX like some people did, or whatever it was.
But we did get a trailer. Looked great. Looks great. We did see the Cyclops coming out of the cave. He is doing it practically. I'm interested to see how that works. But we see Tom Holland, we see Matt Damon right at the forefront of this. It looks great. And it's Nolan. What else are you gonna get? I mean, it's gonna be great. And this is where we're gonna talk about Avengers. Not too far after we just talked about
Avengers.
We got a brand new poster for Avengers Doomsday. And we talked about it before we left when we saw Avatar, but we did get the first trailer when we saw Avatar. We saw the Captain America Steve Rogers is coming back trailer. While we were away, there's been two trailers playing. One's playing currently, one played last week, and then that was the Thor trailer, which was leaked a week prior.
Mm-hmm.
These leaks are horrible. The way they're doing this is horrible. I don't know who's in charge of marketing right now and who's doing the marketing for this. Number one, we got another trailer this week. Supposedly, I mean, it's in theaters, and you can't talk about it until Tuesday when Marvel officially releases it. But we got the X-Men back. Yeah. And for some reason, are the photos loading on your?
They're on
that
now.
One is.
Yep. Yeah.
As you can see, we got Captain America on the top. We got Thor in the middle, and we got Cyclops in a X-Men 90s costume. Finally, doing Cyclops correctly in the 1-2 second clip that we saw with a fucking Sentinel walking behind him. This is the only thing so far that's hyped me up for Doomsday. The only thing. And we've got 3 minutes of footage from the movie so far, but that's the only 4 seconds of footage that actually hyped me up. And before this, we got Professor X and Magneto in the X Mansion. Looks like the X Mansion is being attacked by Sentinels. Mm-hmm. And we see Cyclops being emotional. He rips his visor off, and just something we never saw in the X-Men movies prior is him having this huge blast of fire coming out of his eyes. Something that we saw in the X-Men 97 show, something we saw in the X-Men animated series, in the comic books too, where it just goes berserker Cyclops. And it's just it's an incredible visual. In fact, like even Bosch Logic made this awesome art of Cyclops with a Sentinel behind him, and it's inspiring a lot of people right now, and giving me a little bit more hope for this movie, and that's why it's number one for me this year. And I can see why you don't have as much hope as I do, because I'm kind of that way with Spider-Man right now.
I've been out since the Downey casting. I fucking hate that decision, but we'll see how it plays out in the story. Like I said, I'm not going to judge it. And we've seen so little, and the movie comes out a year from now. At least with Spider-Man, he's one of my favorite characters, and it has Punisher in it, and possibly Daredevil, Hulk. So yeah. I mean, that doesn't really excite me about that dude. Like I want a real grounded Spider-Man, but we'll see how it's fucking 6 months away. So a lot can happen between now and then. I don't like to think too far out. I can see why Doomsday would be your favorite anyways, because it's a fucking Avengers movie. Like, obviously, that's going to be high on your list.
No, Russos are coming back. The whole entire original cast at this point, all the original, except for Scarlet, is coming back. Maybe not Hawkeye, who knows? It just has all the writings on the wall to be a good movie. Even the Downey stuff
also
doesn't bother me.
All the writings on the wall to be a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it has. So did Endgame.
But Endgame worked because it's centered around 5 characters. The other characters didn't come in until the end. That's why Endgame worked, which is why I'm saying I'm not going to judge this until we know more about it.
Right. If they do it right, like if we were the writers of this movie, Doom would be the star of this movie, and everybody else would be kind of coming in secondary.
Right.
I mean, that would be what we would do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of comic book stories I hope they may have read to get into that. Doom could be going from universe to universe to get an army. Who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
If they're going down the Secret Wars.
I've heard a rumor that he's trying to take out all the kids of the Avengers, basically. So
That
that's
was
going to bring in a
what
lot of
the
young
s-
Avengers. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are
Right.
assuming right now. I don't know.
That's what the trailers are kind of speculating too, with bringing in
Right.
Thor's kid and bringing in Captain America's
Yep.
kid. But yeah, we'll talk about this more. The other thing, I may have it in the end of news, but there are going to be trailers, 1-minute trailers every week up until Super Bowl, where the actual
Mhm.
Doomsday trailer is going to be airing. And they're going to be centralized. I know there's a rumor next week's is going to be Namor and Wakanda, and there's going to be some other ones going for it. Looks like 4 or 5 weeks until Super Bowl, something like that. There's going to be a trailer every single week up until the Super Bowl. So, and the Super Bowl is going to be the big, huge Doomsday teaser that it's going to debut Doom and everything. So, looking forward to seeing how they play this out. But it's very, very, very crazy the way the marketing is going for this movie, and it sucks because the trailers are leaking on like Saturday, but they don't release them for a week and a half later. Like the X-Men one leaked last Saturday, but it won't be out till in HD until unless you went to go see Avatar for the 4th time, which that's another weird thing that they're doing. But we got a brand new poster, brand new trailer for Freebird. This is a Burt Kreischer movie on Netflix. Our TV show on Netflix comes out the end of the month. Cannot wait for that. We got the brand new trailer for Madden. Nicolas Cage sounds just like John Madden. It's crazy how he transformed. He looks like him too. And of course, Christian Bale's in that too, so it's got to be good. Malcolm in the Middle. We got a brand new trailer for that as well. Isn't it weird that Bryan Cranston is such a huge star now, and it's crazy that he went back to the well for this? He went back to where he originally got famous. It's crazy that he went kind of downgraded himself for it, I guess you could say.
I mean, if you hear them talk about it, like they're like a family, like so I can see where they were like, hey, you want to come in and make a couple $100,000? Like Cranston's probably like, fuck yeah. He probably would do that shit for free.
Yeah. So yeah, that's coming out. Shrinking got the brand new trailer for that this week. We got Michael J. Fox in the trailer joking about his Parkinson's. Michael J. Fox joking about his Parkinson's, some of my favorite television ever. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Yeah, Shrinking's great. That's going to be on Apple TV. And we got the trailer and poster for Wonder Man. I don't know what to think about Wonder Man. I love Marvel.
Yeah,
I like the character. From what I know about the character, I know it's based off a Hollywood actor who has superpowers, a mutant.
I love the story of it. As far as like what you just said, like the premise. And also, like I said to somebody last night, I was like, it has Yaya in it, so worst case it's gonna be like a 7 out of 10.
It's fucking great. You got 2 Academy Award winners starring in this fucking show. But yeah, all coming out on the same day. 8 episodes on January 27th, from what I'm hearing. So that's gonna be a huge binge that week.
And also, like, it doesn't feel like Disney's putting much thought into this, which is kind of disheartening. Kind of like reminds me of what they did with Echo and that other fucking one. Iron Man shit.
Ironheart, which I loved. I loved Ironheart.
Yeah, but they didn't promote like either one. They're just like, oh, here, dropped.
This is one of those shows that was the end of that whole entire run where they were just putting out shit. This is the end of that. This is the last one that they had. Because I believe Vision Quest is one of the ones that after Feige choked the reins a little bit. Vision Quest is the one that they put out after that. But box office 2 weeks ago, Avatar won the box office, 88 million. Not a lot for Avatar, but we also said that Avatar was not a big States movie; it was an international movie.
And also, like the other movies were doing like the same. They do like $60 to $80 million, but they would do it for like 15 weeks, like consistently. So,
number 3 was Housemaids. Number 2 was David, which I don't even know what that is, but number 3 was Housemaids, which I really do want to see. It's done by Kevin Feige, Paul Feig, who did Bridesmaids, and that stars Sydney Sweeney. The trailer looked really good when we saw it a few months ago, and a lot of people are saying it's good. The Housemaid, that was number 3.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Fire
I might
and
see it
Ash.
this week.
Fire and Ash had a 345 in the first week global box office, which is huge for them. Like we mentioned, that's where they get their money, is overseas. And as far as opening weekends for each of the Avatar movies, it was right in the middle. The first Avatar movie was 240 million. Way of Water was 441 million, which was huge. And Fire and Ash was 345. So right in the middle of the trilogy. In the second week, it made another 64 million on the second week. So that's, I mean, for Christmas week, that's pretty good. Zootopia 2 in its fifth week came up to number 2 with 20. And Marty Supreme opened second week for 17.5 million. A lot of people love that movie. A lot of people love Chalamet right now.
I want to see that and Housemaid this week is my goal. I hope to get to the theater.
Yeah. James Cameron talking a lot about, is he going to continue the Avatar franchise after the third one? He's kind of not sure about it. Even though it already had a date and everything. I don't know, Avatar 4, but he says we're getting ahead of ourselves because first of all, we've got to make some money with this one. I think it's going to make money. I think it was projected to make overall overseas and everything 1.5 billion at least.
It was 1.5 to 1.8. But the thing about the Avatar movies is they're so expensive. So I think he means like money for the studio. Because like even the first two, even though they're like the number 1 and 2 all-time movies, I don't think they made more than like $300 million for the studio, which is not a lot considering how much it takes to produce those movies.
Right. Yeah. They are the most stunning looking movies as far as it being all CGI and the time it takes to make them. They're the most stunning. But
they're fucking half cartoon essentially, but they're great. They're fun to watch.
He's also talked, I don't know if I have it in here or not, but he's also talked about maybe making him into books, but nobody reads books anymore. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's all over the place. And he's also talking a lot about writing Terminator and stories of going back to his old projects and he wants to write for. And we've always said we want to just create something new too. We would just love to see a new sci-fi story.
I saw an interview with somebody, I can't for the life of me remember who it was, but basically they were into Cameron and they had him like look at one of his scripts and like the way he composes, like basically the way he outlines stories, like change this person's like life. Because the guy's a genius when it comes to storytelling. Avatar 4, I think they started filming, but they like stopped. I don't know what the deal is. So I don't know really. Maybe they were filming some of Avatar 4 when they filmed Avatar 3 is what it probably could have been. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I enjoy going to the movies. Like I said, I see the theater once and I'm good. I'd probably eventually get the 4K once they're all done and they all come out, if 4Ks are still a thing in 2052, if I'm around. But, we'll see.
The other thing, the villain of Avatar, which I thought she did a great job, but I did not realize till after, but she's the granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin, Una Chapman. Una. They're talking a lot about her performance and everything. That's her in the if you're watching on YouTube, that's her. But granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin. Zootopia 2, while we were away, crossed $1.4 billion for Walt Disney Animation Studios, top grossing movie of all time. Inside Out 2 remains their best at 1.6. And I don't believe that includes Pixar. It also doesn't include live action, but yeah. Most streamed movies of 2025. These are all on streaming, but number 1 by a landslide was K-pop Demon Hunters. Number 2 was Happy Gilmore 2. Movie 6.2 billion.
That's insane.
I guess that would be hours streamed. I don't know what that is. Hours, I guess.
It's got to be hours.
Moana 2, 4.6. Despicable Me 4, 4.1. And Back in Action, that was a Netflix exclusive at the beginning of the year. That was just 4 billion. And I forgot about that movie, but yeah.
Me too.
Had a couple of deaths while we were away. One was kind of horror / it related / wire related. James Ransom. He played Eddie in It Part 2. He was also in The Wire. Inside Man and Sinister, I'm sure you've seen those, or at least one of those. I don't know what that's the only thing I know him from is It, but I don't even remember him in The Wire. Wasn't really
he was in season
role.
2. He was the one that got the duck drunk in the second season. His uncle or whatever was like the big player in that season, I think.
Okay. But he had some mental health issues, ended up killing himself. Rest in peace to him. Also, speaking of The Wire, rest in peace to Isaiah Whitlock Jr. He was in The Wire. Of course, every time you saw him in The Wire, he would always say, shit.
He was
great. He was great, but he was in more than just that, too. He was in a lot of stuff.
He was
also kind of the same type of role that every time he did it. The reason I'm bringing this actor up, Pat Finn, He's a comedic star. He was in Friends. He was in Seinfeld. I know you love Seinfeld. He's in the middle.
Yep.
He's in the. I've seen him in stuff too. He died of cancer. He was 60. I don't know much. I can't remember what I've seen him in, but I know I've seen him in movies.
He's one of those faces. Yeah.
One of those faces. One of those guys you've seen. So rest in peace to him. Not a lot happened with the Warner Brothers front while we were away. But the Hollywood Actors Union secretly are plotting to possibly strike
Jesus Christ
over the deal. So we'll see if that happens. That would be a horrible thing. That's kind of like putting your foot in the down. It's like putting your foot in the ground or just stopping your feet because you're not getting your way.
Yeah, they just had their bullshit too. They had to.
Right. And Netflix. This came out today. This is a Deadline article. Netflix is reportedly willing to keep movies in the theaters, but only for 17 days. If it does buy Warner Brothers.
I think what they said is different. I didn't click on the article. People were saying that minimum of 17 days. Minimum. Okay. So if you have
probably
a
depends on
Dune Part 3, if you have a Dune Part 3, they'll keep it in for 45 days or whatever.
Right.
But I think it's a minimum of 17 days.
All right. Okay. Even that. I mean, in the climate that we're in now, it's fine.
You need 2 weeks. You need 2 weeks.
Yeah, you need at least 2 weeks.
Just don't go straight to streaming. Maybe put it on so you can buy it first and then go to streaming maybe after a month. I don't know. But 2 weeks at least and then see how it's doing. And if it's still doing good, then obviously you keep it in.
Yeah.
But that's the thing too is, I mean, the studio doesn't make money back until really week 3. So you're kind of screwing yourself at that time too. So we'll see. See how it shakes out.
The Last of Us is going to recast Danny Ramirez Manny. He was I don't know who he played in the show. I can't remember who played in The Last of Us, but he's going to be recast for season 3. He, of course, if you don't know who that is, he was the new Falcon in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the one that took over from Sam. He's the new one. So yeah, he's gone, probably busy doing the Avengers. That's why he can't. His scheduling issues, they said. And Finn Wolfhard, talking a lot about Stranger Things, but also talking about It Welcome to Derry. We talked about this week being involved in an upcoming project in the It franchise. He says, yeah, I'm connected, and I think there's something else that'll come up eventually that I'm excited for people to see. Going further into it in another article, he did say it was It Welcome to Derry, that the Machetes did say that he is going to be a part of that some way, maybe a flash forward or something.
He can play the adult version of his kid version from the first movie.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, I had to.
after Pennywise is already gone, I want to see a growing. I want to see a teenage fucking Finn Wolfhard. At this point, looks like he's 40.
They'll just de-age him. They'll do the right thing.
Oh God, what the fuck? Mads Mikkelsen has been cast in Martin Scorsese What Happens at Night. This is the Leonardo DiCaprio Jennifer Lawrence movie set in somewhere in Europe. Looking forward to. I love Scorsese, so we'll have to wait and see. Still have not seen the one that came out last year that you say is okay.
The one with Jesse Plemons?
No, Flower Moon. I haven't seen that yet.
With Jesse Plemons.
Oh, he's in that? I couldn't remember.
He shows up. He's the best part. He shows up with a half hour to go.
Oh, interesting. We got a brand new look at Zack Snyder's next film, The Last Photograph. We got some new photos of that. The film follows a man searching for his missing niece and nephew after the murder of his parents. The only man that can help him is a photo. Yeah, I don't know much about it other than these pictures right here.
I think the guy basically has photos of it happening, and I don't know, but I'm very excited because it's very different than Zach has really done pretty much his entire career. Completely different, so I'm looking forward to it. It's like a passion project, so I really want to see how it turns out, and hopefully it's better than his last passion project.
The one he's still passionate about. Yep. Although he doesn't talk about Rebel Moon as much. He kind of dropped that, didn't he?
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't. It seems like it didn't do as well as he was claiming that more people saw that than Barbie did, apparently, is what Netflix told him there.
Do you know what he talks about a lot, though? He certainly likes to talk a lot about Henry Cavill and fucking everything that he created in DC, but...
And he'll even post stuff to his Instagram story that nobody cares because it's not DC related from Sucker Punch, but he doesn't do. I don't think he's posted. He's probably posted. I think he's posted stuff of Jimmy, which makes sense because it's fucking Anthony Hopkins. But I don't think he's posted much besides that from Rebel Moon.
Yeah. Predator Badlands finally coming out on digital on January 6th. Comes out on Blu-ray on February 17th, but January 6th would be next week.
It's about time.
We're gonna try to watch it and talk about it next week probably. I know I found it a while ago, but it wasn't a good transfer. So
Yeah,
not
well,
that
the
illegally.
transfer is fine. It's the fact that they had Russian subtitles.
Yeah.
Didn't know what was going on.
Let's jump into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
Welcome to Dairy Pop Figures. We got Bob Gray as Pennywise, Little Periwinkle, Original Periwinkle, Grown Up Periwinkle, Bloody Pennywise. And we also got another one. We got another one on a shelf. It's Entertainment Earth exclusive. You can set it on the edge of a shelf.
That looks really cool.
Pennywise is on top of the refrigerator. Yeah. And we also got the Pickle Dad from like the second or third episode. So those look awesome. Beetlejuice coming out with a Hot Toys. Beetlejuice figure coming out of Hot Toys. And also
Nice.
Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Looks really cool. And I cannot believe this has never come out. Such an iconic scene from the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, but a battle damage version when the glider goes into Green Goblin, spoiler, or movie that came out 25 years ago almost. But yeah, battle damage Spider-Man facing Green Goblin, comes with a Green Goblin mask, comes with a glider, comes with Spider-Man being all battle damage. Looks cool. Ryan Coogler talking a lot about the what the script looked like for the original story for Black Panther 2 if Chadwick Boseman had lived. He said it was a 180-page draft. Chadwick did not read it, but the big thing was the ritual of 8, where a prince is 8 years old. He has to go and spend 8 days in the bush with his father. And during the course of those 8 days, Namor launches an attack on Wakanda. T'Challa had to deal with someone who's insanely dangerous, but because of the ritual, his son had to be joined at his hip the whole time. So it was going to be like a father-son bonding experience with Wakanda being attacked at the same time. Chadwick was going to kill it, but life goes on, and he talked about he was too sick to read it. So yeah, what we could have gotten, who knows?
And he also talked about he was going to use Kraven, and Sony said no.
Yep, Sony said
talked about
no.
that, right?
Yeah. While we were away, big DC news broke, and that was that Brainiac, number 1, officially announced, and number 2 was officially cast. Lars Eddiger, don't know what he's been in. I don't know if you've done any research since this came out.
He has been in. Well, of course, the big joke is he also does like DJ for fun. So they're all like, James Gunn went to some club in Germany and heard this guy DJing and decided that's my Brainiac. He's going to put house music in this movie. Blah 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 blah. The guy's got 140 fucking acting credits. He's won multiple awards in Europe for his acting. He was just in something that came out on Netflix or Prime, I want to say, recently. And apparently he's great in it, even though he's barely in it. But that's pretty much he's a European actor that doesn't have many credits stateside.
And James Gunn said it came right down to the casting process.
Yep.
It wasn't any specific role, wasn't anything. It was just the way his performance in the casting was awesome. Also, people are asking him on Twitter or X, wherever he was posting threads, what is your inspiration for Brainiac? There's so many years of inspiration in the comics. And he's saying he loves it many aspects of the versions of the character, from the 1950s stuff to the stuff done with the animated versions, up into Absolute Brainiac, which was more current. So who knows where it's going to be based off of.
I think my favorite response to his stuff is I see the screenshot going around this week. I don't know if it's real or not, but somebody was like, "Hey, Mr. Gunn, do you like the Riddler?" And his response was genuinely, "Who gives a fuck?"
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if it's real or not, but it was making the rounds this week on Twitter.
That'd be great. That'd be a great response. Captain Atom reportedly going to be a part of Creature Commando Season 2. I don't know. I don't take any DC news unless it comes from James Gunn himself.
Yeah, it's from Nexus Point News. But if it is Alan Rickson, cool.
At Captain Atom, of course, part of the Charlton characters. He was based off of. Dr. Manhattan was based off of him.
Yep.
Interesting to see if that comes in. And finally in news, not really news, but fan speculation, fan casting. After It Welcome to Derry, Chris Chalk. We got to remember that name. There's a few people, Josh O'Connor, Jack O'Connell, or vice versa. I don't know what's vice
the
versa.
kid from Alien Romulus and
Alien Romulus.
what's his name? You know what I'm talking about? And The Long Walk. That kid's also one of the future kids
You have
gotta
to have like
look out for.
I have to have sticky notes on my desk with these guys' names, so until they're
know,
like
right?
in my head. But Chris Chalk, he played
the guy from the hotel.
from The Shining. Yeah.
Yes.
Why can't I think of the name?
I don't know, because we're
Even
2 hours
Scatman-
into a podcast.
Scatman Crothers played him in the fucking. I know the guy who played him in The Shining. But I can't remember his name in the show.
Scatman Crothers. All-time name right there. All-time name.
But yeah, he was great in It Welcome to Derry. If you
Yep.
can remember, Harrigan. Wow, why is that fucking? Why is that? It's not
Oh
right.
my god, it's close. It's close. But anyways, that guy.
That guy who was great in It Welcome to Derry. So memorable. The fan casting is saying it would be great if he played Martian Manhunter, in some form in the DC. I think that would be great.
Yep.
EJ2, whatever his name is from
Algafor,
Guardians of the
yep.
Galaxy, whatever his name is.
Or
Would've been great.
Yep.
I don't remember his name.
And like I said, even like the kid from The Long Walk and Aliens, he'd be good in that role.
He'd be good.
There's a bunch of they have a lot of people they could choose from. Fucking Denzel's son would be great.
Yep.
There's a lot of young actors they can choose for this role. I always trust the casting process, especially with James. So, see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That's it for our show this week.
Mhm.
Next week, the only thing we really have on the docket is Fallout Episode 4. And I think we'll probably watch Badlands, Predator Badlands.
Hopefully,
It comes out on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll watch that. I haven't watched Tron. I know you have. The other thing I'm going to watch, I did not watch for this week, is Begonia. I know you saw it. I know you loved it. We'll talk about it next week. I do want to watch it.
I don't know if I love it, but like as soon as it ended, it's one of those movies that you just think about for days. Like
Okay.
it's definitely like a 4.5 for me. Like it's that good of a movie.
I saw your review. Yeah.
I want to watch it again, so I might watch it this week. It's one of those movies. As soon as it was over, I was like, I really want to see that again.
Yeah, I meant to watch it this week, but I just got too busy. So we'll definitely watch it for next week. And
You're watching Rob Reiner films.
I was watching Rob Reiner, and I had a good time with that. So thank you, everybody. Welcome to the new year. Got some great stuff on the docket. So look forward to talking to everybody about it. And we will talk to everybody next week.
Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you wanna be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb, we're here to entertain.